again. Welcome back to our beautiful studio here in sunny Florida. We are at the Fred Astaire Coral Gables. My name is Vincent, and today we're going to be looking at a few different types of turns that we use in ballroom dancing. So, the first type of turn that I'm going to introduce to you today is called a three-step turn. Now, it sounds like the name pretty much gives it away, but a three-step turn is going to be 3 steps that turn you all the way back around 360 degrees. So if I were to demonstrate one, I would step, and then step, step. So there's my 3 steps, step, step, step. So let's talk about what's happening. This is obviously a traveling turn, so we are going to travel a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to place our 3 steps on the same line. So if I step onto my right foot, my left foot has to go on the same line, and then my right foot would also go on the same line. So I go left foot, left foot, or right foot, left foot, right foot. So it's very, very important for your balance that all 3 of these steps happen on the same line. If I place my first 2 steps on one line, and then place my 3rd step slightly off that line, I'm going to feel like I'm falling away from whatever direction my foot went off that line in. Now, when I do these steps, there's a few different ways that I can do them, but how we're going to do them right now is we're going to step side step on our right, side step on our left, and side step on our right, side step left, right, left. Now, footwork. It's very important when we do these turns, if we want to turn our foot, that we have to have the heel released. Now, what I mean by the heel released, it doesn't mean that I have to be up on my toes, but it means that I can't put pressure on that heel. So, in order to be in a good turning position for my body, I have to make sure my weight is slightly forward so that I can freely release my heels, so that as I turn, I am able to turn freely on the balls of my feet. I don't want to be turning on the heels. It's a lot scarier, a lot less stable. So in general, what we're going to be doing today is turning on the balls of our feet. So if I were to demonstrate that again, if you want to follow along, we step onto our right foot, onto our left foot, and then onto our right foot on the same line, left foot, left foot. Now, if you're asking what should I do with my arms, I don't want you to worry about that right now. We do have other videos that are going to be going over different things like our hip action and our arm motion. But one thing to keep in mind, ladies, if we're dancing with a gentleman and we allow our arms to come in tight like this against our side while we're dancing, then he can't actually come back into hold. So it's important that we don't squeeze our arms at our side when we turn, but instead we can bring it in and release it back out as he turns us. So this is a 3-step turn. We're going to learn 2 other types of turns today as well, but let's practice that one more time. Stepping onto our right, side step, left, side step, and then side step right. Then we have left foot, left foot again. Now, if I want to make this turn a little bit faster, all I have to do is take my 2nd step a little bit closer. So I'm going to close my feet on my 2nd step, and what that does is it actually makes my turn a little bit delayed and makes it look a lot faster. So we're going to be talking in the future of this video about how to make our turns faster, or at least appear faster, because they have to take the same amount of time in the music. But what that can do is it can add a certain level of proficiency to your turns that you might want to experiment with. But once again, all 3 of those steps have to be on that same line, so you can't break that line to try and make your turn faster, because you're going to lose your balance. So the second kind of stepping turn that we're going to learn today is a spot turn. So a spot turn, as the name would imply, happens in one spot. So I'm not going to be traveling on this turn. So this is a turn that's used a lot in salsa, for example. So spot turns are very common in salsa, and a lot of times when people tell me that they're bad at turning, or they don't know how to turn, they're normally picturing some sort of a spot turn. So how am I doing a spot turn? When I step forward on my left in salsa, what's happening is I'm doing a breaking step. Now, before we can learn how to do this turn, I have to define these terms that I'm using. So a breaking step is where I'm only putting part of my body's weight on that front foot. So I'm using my front foot or my back foot to stop my body. So as I break forward, I'm going to be releasing some of the weight off this right foot. What I want to do when that happens is I want to turn 180 degrees with my hips. Now what I can do to finish my turn, transferring my weight back onto my right foot, I'm going to close my feet. So I go back on my right to finish that basic. I step forward on my left, turn in between my feet, come back onto my right foot, and close my feet. Once again, so you can see that, I go right, left, right, left, right, left. If you want to try that with me, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now, as we're dancing this, there's also a few different ways that we can syncopate or we can change our timing for this turn. For example, I can delay the turn until the last minute. I can go left and then change, back and together, left and then change, back and together, or I can change the way I was before, where I go halfway, turn the hips, and then finish with the upper body. Now, I just said something there that I haven't explained, so let me rewind for a second. If I do this turn with my body all moving as one unit, what that looks like is this. Now, as I turn this way, my turn doesn't look quite as interesting or as dynamic as what I was doing before. So what I'm going to do to free up my body and to make that turn feel a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to make sure that as I do this turn, I step, and the first part of my turn is going to be my upper body, and then my hips. Now, as I did that, I went upper body, hips, and now, as I come onto my right foot, I'm going to move my upper body again first, and then finish with my hips. So, why am I doing this? Why am I twisting my body this way? Well, it's number one, to make the turn faster while keeping your body balanced, but also because it allows you to control your momentum as you're dancing. So as I step on my left foot, I can start with my upper body and then let that energy go into my hips, creating tension in my body. I go onto my right foot, turning to my right, and then finishing the motion onto my left foot. So I have right, left, right, left and right and left. So as I am turning my upper body, it's on the and. My lower body, step and changing weight. Right, left, right, left and right and left. Right, left, right, left and right and left. Right, left, right. So if you actually get used to doing this, segmenting your body's action, when you actually dance it, you won't even really notice it. You have left and a step, right and a step, left and a step, right and a step. As you're dancing this, you're going to connect all of this action together. But right now, as you learn it, it probably does feel a little robotic. We're dancing, we're going here, turning our upper body, turning our hips, stepping, turning our upper body, turning our hips, and then changing weight. So right now, if that doesn't make sense, don't worry. You can still practice your spot turns without working on this twisting of the body, which is actually a lot of what creates our hip action, which isn't something we're covering today. So the last type of turn that we're going to be learning. So far we've learned a 3-step turn, and we've learned a spot turn. The last type of turn we're going to be learning today is a spiraling turn. Now, spiral turns are something that you'll encounter a lot when you're dancing, say salsa, or if you're doing any international Latin in your dance training. So a spiraling turn is a turn that happens on one foot, and we hold the other foot on the ground until it's needed to step. So, without going too much more into detail, let me demonstrate first. So I'm stepping forward on my right, and then turning on my right foot, stepping onto my left would be my next action. If I show you that from the other direction, stepping forward on my right, turning on my right foot, and then stepping forward on my left. Once more, stepping forward on my right, turning on my right foot, and then stepping forward on my left. So, a spiraling turn, one piece at a time. I step forward on my right foot, and this is a walking step. So unlike a spot turn where I'm stopping my body, on a spiraling turn, I'm walking fully onto that foot. Now, as I arrive fully on that foot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to turn my body to my left, and I'm going to continue to keep this foot on the ground. Now, I'm free to step forward, finishing into my next step. Once again, what that looks like, I step forward on my right foot, I turn my body all the way around to the left, and then I step forward on my left. So trying that with me. I step forward on my right, I turn to my left, I let my foot keep contact with the floor, and then I step forward on my left. Doing that a little bit faster. I step right and left. Now, this, just like our spot turn, is made a lot simpler if we break down the body so it's not just one block turning. So as I turn with my body all at once, it makes me feel like I'm going to fall out of that turn. So what I have to do, as I'm stepping and going to turn, I have to turn my upper body first, and then I finish the rotation with my hips. What this does, from a physical standpoint, it conserves our angular momentum. But what we're actually trying to do is we're just trying to keep our balance. So as I step, I turn my upper body first, then I finish turning with my hips. Seeing that again in slow motion, I step right and step. So let's try that in an exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to go back on our right, forward on our right, full turn, step, step, half turn, and rock back, step. Now I'm going to step forward on my left and try the other side. Turn all the way around, step, step, half turn, and rock, step. Forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step, forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step. So try that with me. I'll keep an even timing. Rock, step, forward, turn, forward, forward, half, back. Rock, step, forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step. Forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step. Forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step. So, if you guys have followed along so far, we've done 3 different types of turns. We've done our 3-step turn, our spot turn, and our spiraling turn. And so far, it's pretty clear that the spiraling turn is the most challenging of the 3. But our principles that we're using are going to be the same from one turn to another. I want to maintain my balance over the balls of my feet, and I want to make sure that I'm not moving my foot until I need to use it. So let me explain that in regards to our spiraling turn. As we're stepping onto this foot, we don't want to release this foot as soon as our weight's off it, because it's going to make us want to fall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep contact with the ground until I'm ready to use it. So if you try that slowly, step forward on your right foot. Now we turn our body to our left. And as we're turning, we're making sure we're keeping that balance, our head, over the ball of our right foot. If I keep my head over the ball of my right foot, it's very challenging for me to actually fall. I know that sounds funny, but if we focus on where our weight is and where our head is, it's actually going to help us a lot with our turns. So if I step forward on my right and I place my head over my right foot, what's going to happen is I'm going to be balanced over that point, and as long as I don't let my foot fly out to the side or something like that, I'm going to stay balanced in that position. So doing that exercise again. Rock, step, forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, back. Rock, step, forward, full turn, forward, forward, half turn, rock, step. So, thank you so much for this time working on our turns. and we look forward to seeing you in a future video.